Life Audio.
Welcome to the Crosswalk Devotional. We're glad to have you listening with us. Today's topic is about understanding what really matters in life. We'll return with the devotional after a brief message from one of our sponsors.
Hello, this is Dr. Doug Groothuis, host of Truth Tribe, where we seek the truth through reason and evidence about what matters most. And we are not tribal, since truth is for everyone. Please join me at the Truth Tribe as I discuss the reasons for Christian faith, the Christian worldview, and moral issues such as abortion and gender ideology. To listen now, go to lifeaudio.com or search Truth Tribe on your favorite podcast app.
The Historical Jesus Podcast is the sweeping saga of the life and times of Galilean Jesus of Nazareth, as well as the faith, religion, and church founded to honor and disseminate his acts and teachings. Join me, Mark Vinette, on this fascinating journey through time, exploring the many great works of Christian theology, literature, architecture, music, and art inspired by the words and deeds of Jesus Christ.
What Really Matters by Meg Bucher, read by Leah Martin. For I want you to understand what really matters, so that you may live pure and blameless lives until the day of Christ's return. Philippians 1:10. Motherhood pushes the fleetness of time into overdrive. When the fall rolls around and my daughters get ready to go back to school, my social media feed is flooded with memories from all the other first day of school pics over the years. How can time go so fast? How can we love other little humans so much? Each passing year, I become more aware of the pressing urgency to pass wisdom down to them. My instinct is to prepare and protect them. I understand the urgency in Paul's prose. I want my daughters to understand what really matters and to live pure and blameless lives. I do the best I can to articulate love into every area of their lives, but I know as surely as my days are numbered on this earth, my words fall short. The author of Hebrews wrote, "Let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep his promise." Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. And let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially as the day of his return is drawing near. Hebrews 10:23-25. Just because we don't always get it right doesn't mean we should give up. Persistent faith in the Lord will carry us through the days which break our hearts and give us words when ours are depleted. I want you to understand what really matters, Paul said. What really matters? The Life Application Bible says, we ought to pray for moral discernment so we can maintain Christ's perspective on what really matters. In every situation, consistently choosing the best course of action will yield tremendous benefits for us and those around us. Always think about what will be of lasting value. Intersecting faith and life. The pit in my stomach starts to swirl when the Lord is convicting me to be cautious or alerting me to take action. The decisions we make in our everyday lives can either lead to pure and blameless lives or lives that are heaped with the consequences of incorrect choices. Paul is adamant to get his message across. Every decision matters. We can't walk through life without pausing to perceive what's happening around us. To know what really matters takes mature discernment. Discernment is defined as the acuteness of judgment and understanding. To discern is to perceive by the sight of some other sense or by the intellect. Our decisions affect the people God has purposely placed in our lives to love. When we consider the effect of our decisions, we're more cautious and careful than if we're just thinking about ourselves. The author of Hebrews wrote, "You've been believers so long now that you ought to be teaching others. Instead, you need someone to teach you again the basic things about God's Word. You're like babies who need milk and can't eat solid food, for someone who lives on milk is still an infant and doesn't know how to do what's right. Solid food is for those who are mature, who through training have the skill to recognize the difference between right and wrong. Hebrews 5:11-14. When my daughters were young, I read a devotional book with them every night. I cherished the conversations we'd have, and I loved hearing their little voices pray to their big God. Over time, though, I knew they needed to grow beyond just a bedtime devotional. The next step for them became the kids program at our local church. They looked forward to going every Sunday and eventually jumped in to volunteer and serve as they got older. Now they're teens, and they're active in their local youth group. I miss bedtime devotions with their tiny voices praying to their great big God, but I love watching them grow into their faith on their own accord. This past year, my oldest daughter went on her first mission trip. In our everyday lives, God is faithful to meet us where we are. He wants us to understand what really matters. For further reading, explore 1 Samuel 2:26 and Jeremiah 12:2. The Crosswalk Devotional is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review this podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.
Have you ever felt conflict between your faith and feelings? If so, you're not alone. My name's Carly Mercoulier. I'm a licensed therapist and the host of the Therapy and Theology podcast, where we explore popular topics and questions related to faith, feelings, and spiritual formation. I want to invite you to join me every Thursday as we fearlessly name the complexities of our reality, grow in the awareness of who we are, and rediscover the power and purpose of our unique stories through the lens of the gospel. Subscribe today at lifeaudio.com.